We are used to seeing fighters in combat sports looking like muscular monsters. But you'd be surprised to know that these burger destroyers are also professional fighters who shock the crowd with their acrobatic skills. Unforgettable performances and spectacular knockouts. In this short video, you will see the most spectacular fights and brutal knockouts from the fattest fighters in combat sports. Enjoy watching. This man who looks like Johnny Sins who stopped taking care of himself is named Eric Ash, but the world knows him as Butterbean. Butterbean is also a 315-pound phenomenon in combat sports, and despite looking like Humpty Dumpty, he has brutally knocked out opponents in boxing, kickboxing, and even MMA. In July 1995, Eric Butterbean fought Joe Norris. Joe Norris was showing off his muscles. Butterbean, in contrast to him, was humble and was hiding his muscles under the fat. From the outside, it looked like a disappointed client came to fight with his fitness instructor because the weight loss program didn't work. The fighters started to brawl hard, and by the end of the round, the atmosphere was so hot that even the signal of the gong could not stop the athletes. In the second round, the fighters put up a ruthless fight during which Butterbean surprised everyone by landing a powerful right punch and turned the muscular beast into his own Pete. In October 1995, Butterbean, who looked like Wilson Fisk, came out to fight against the giant Pat Jackson. Jackson was shooting Eric like a machine gun, but Butterbean was hard to shock because he ate punches like chicken wings. Butterbean moved forward like a tank, and after exhausting his opponent, he unleashed a hail of strikes on him, apparently thinking that one victim was not enough for him this evening. He knocked out the referee, who appeared between Butterbean and his target.
Well, the Bean, is he going to double knockout on this one?
Seeing what could be in store for him in the next round, a frightened Jackson decided not to continue the fight, and the referee, who survived the knockout, announced Butterbean's victory. Fighting for Butterbean was a calling. He did not care about the location, the opponent, and the rules of the tournament. That's why in 2007, he fought already under Emma rules with 260-pound muscle rock James Thompson. The fighters tried to scare each other with stares, but Butterbean can only be scared by an empty fridge and a treadmill. Butterbean stood motionless like a statue for 30 seconds, but then he had a sudden fit of rage and ran at his opponent to finish him with a deadly overhand. In March 1998, Butterbean defended his EBA title against Billy Eaton. The two had previously faced each other, and Billy Eaton had drawn the fight, gave Eric a lot of trouble, and even knocked him down. Butterbean didn't forget the offense and was eager to get revenge on the insolent contender. The fight was close, but in the second round, Butterbean knocked Eaton down with a left hook. Eaton responded by throwing hard punches, but Eric showed that his strikes were no more painful than a pillow punch. The situation was heating up, and finally Butterbean decided to step in and unleash his power. Eaton managed to get up, but soon regretted it. Butterbean smelled blood and soon finished off his victim. This funny bear's name is Chris Barnett. He is a spectacular heavyweight division fighter, known for his acrobatic skills, hilarious dancing, and unexpected celebration. In his debut fight in MMA, he wasn't afraid to go up against an opponent who had over 70 fights. To the surprise of the crowd, the brash newcomer completely dominated his experienced opponent throughout the fight. He was fighting with his opponent, used throws and made spectacular kicks, and at the end, wanting to emphasize his dominance, Barnett spanked his opponent like a naughty child. As a result, winning by unanimous decision, Barnett, who looked like a kung fu panda, went up against a muscular monster. When the fighters were tested for doping, Barnett was found to have traces of fried wings in his blood. From the first round, the fighters picked up the intensity and put on a brutal brawl. After catching their breath on the ground, the fighters again went into a wild exchange in which Barnett sent his opponent into a deep knockout. Immediately after the knockout, he shocked the crowd once again, no less spectacularly celebrating his victory by triggering an earthquake in the neighboring city. Next, Destiny brought Barnett to the Road C promotion, where he faced Korean fighter Yuan Jae Shim. Barnett was so fat that several times in his career he managed to fail the way, even in the heavyweight division, and so this fight was in the open weight class. However, in this fight, compared to his previous fights, he was moving very fast, looking like a fat Flash. He landed a series of punches and kicks, many of which were on target, not forgetting his signature spinning kick.
Is getting low kicks. Just getting taking those low kicks.
As he stepped back, he put his opponent's guard down and unexpectedly threw a counter leg kick to the body.
He's using a lot of energy.
The tricky Korean wanted to win the fight by disqualification in the style of Aljamain Sterling, but the sharp eye of the referee quickly uncovered the cheating and fairly awarded Barnett the victory by knockout. The Korean, apparently not satisfied with Barnett's victory, challenged him to fight again to avenge his defeat. Barnett finally realized he needed to lose weight and decided to go for a jog during the fight. This time, Barnett came in for the undisputed win, landing a hail of punches, finishing the beating with a killer right hook. After that knockout, the Korean was unable to get up on his own, and it took several men to lift him up. To be a top MMA fighter in the best promotion in the world, you have to train hard, watch your diet, have big strong muscles like Alistair Overeem or Yoel Romero, or you can forget those rules and just be Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson looks like a record holder for eating chicken wings for speed rather than a top MMA fighter. In May 2008, Roy Nelson faced Brett Imes, who looked like a huge, muscular Woody Harrelson. Nelson was hitting his opponent more often, and one of his punches shook Imes hard, forcing him to perform a little dance. Nelson's fists were flying at Imes' face like bees to honey. Realizing that Imes has had enough, Nelson took aim and performed the fatality. After the knockout, Nelson showed the crowd the main source of his power. Recently, Nelson apparently decided that fighting with gloves is for sissy kids and moved to George Masvidal's bare knuckle promotion. In the fight against Dylan Kleckler, Nelson was already 46 years old, and the younger Kleckler won, decidedly demolished the veteran. Kleckler was already celebrating victory in his mind, but something happened that no one expected. Roy Nelson shocked the crowd by showing that he only needs one clear shot to win. Despite the fact that these fighters do not look like professional athletes, these burger and beer lovers came into the sport to terrify opponents, delight fans, and surprise the world. Every appearance they make is full of plenty of incredible highlights that can be rewatched over and over again. If these fat knockout artists surprised you, write in the comments which knockout you liked most, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.